What is happening? Hope all is well. Big ups to everyone that's out there. You know, last night we had a beautiful stream. It was an absolutely beautiful stream. You should have been there. We had a really beautiful stream last night, man. Beautiful stream. As a matter of fact, the stream was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And there was so much truth in that stream that, you know, we played evidence of a particular something that Trump said. We played some evidence of him actually saying that. And the Trump supporters, the ones who normally just make excuses for him, they didn't know what to do. So they resorted to calling names. Right, let me take this. They resorted to calling names. They resorted to bashing. They resorted to all of these internet games, right? And for me, I found it quite funny, to be completely honest with you. I found it absolutely funny, right? Because it's one of those things. We're going to speak the truth. We're going to talk about the things that actually happened as it happened. We're not going to make anything up about anyone. And it's funny because even when you do bring the facts, right? You bring the facts to them. You show these people what the facts are, right? And they still somehow they find another excuse as to why what you're saying is not true, right? Even when you actually play the video and the audio for them to hear what it is that actually took place, right? But we had a Trump supporter in here last night. And let me make sure that everything is legit here, right? Everything looks good here. Okay, cool. But yeah, we had a Trump supporter in here last night, right? And guys, when I tell you this Trump supporter wanted to call me, right? So obviously, right, when you're doing the podcast, when you're doing the live stream, you're going to be talking directly to the audience, right? So a lot of times I'm talking directly to the audience. So sometimes we're sitting and there's just so many people talking and chatting. So I'm like, all right, cool. Once we get to 10 likes, that's when I'll start reading some of the messages, right? People are going on, and I seen it. I seen the clown emojis, I seen the laughing emojis, and it's great. It's engaging. People are engaged. People are agreeing, people are disagreeing. It is what it is, right? And it comes with the territory, right? You're gonna have some people that agree, you're gonna have some people that disagree. But the thing is, when it comes to those people who become extremists, right? In which, guys, we're all human beings, we're all spiritual beings having a human experience. But to me, the worst thing that anyone could ever call me is a Trump supporter. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but to be honest with you, it's up there with some of the worst things that you could possibly call someone, if I'm being completely honest with you. So, how you doing, Hunter? Mayor, hello, how you doing? Linnea, hello, thank you guys for joining us. Please make sure you guys are liking the video and subscribing as well, right? I want to share with you an experience that we had last night, just last night. Navia Rhodes, big up to Navia Rhodes. She's in the building. I tell you guys, Navia Rhodes is an absolute brilliant moderator. Brilliant moderator. I was bigging you up last night as well, Navia Rhodes. I actually was shouting you out big time, you and Sarah and all of the, the originals that make the channel and make the actual community what it is, right? You're gonna see people here with their dogs. They're gonna pull up because there's a dog park back here, so people are gonna have their dogs. They're gonna pull up and train their dogs and let their dogs have fun, right? But last night, we had dialogue, and we were talking about how Donald Trump was running from the 60 Minutes interview, right? Because he's running from accountability. He's running from the hard questions that are going to be asked, that the American people have a right to know. Because if you are going to be the president, then there has to be an element of transparency when it comes to what your intentions are for the country, right? Therefore, you're going to have to take that stage, right? Because the people want to know what's up with you, bruh, right? So he decided that he was going to run off, right? He's not going to do it. He's not going to do the 60 minutes interview. Why? Because he's afraid that they're going to fact check him. Remember, Vance was oh, you guys said you were going to fact check. Remember the debate? So it's one of those things, right? So they're campaigning based on lies and manipulation, right? Whereas, you know, and anything goes with these guys, right? Anything goes. They'll talk about people with the hurricane situation. It doesn't matter that people's lives have actually really been affected by these hurricanes. Like, this is a really serious situation. They'll use it as a manipulation tactic to try to acquire votes, right? Because this is the name of the game, right? They're just tools according to them. Hold on. I'm sorry. I was sent to the emergency room yesterday. I'm so sorry. I left because I got sent to the emergency room. No. Nevea. First of all, I'm sorry to hear that you got sent to the emergency room, right? There are things that do happen in life, right? You have to take care of your health. I want you to be I want you to be in perfect health, right? So if that's something that you needed to do and you needed to handle business, there's no need for you to ever apologize about that, right? Take care of yourself. I think that's the main thing. You know, I wouldn't dare try to ask you to be here, right, to watch a stream if you're unable to, right? If it's something where you've been in the emergency room, go ahead and take care of your health, right? And I want you to be in the absolute best shape, okay? So I hope everything is okay. If you want to share what it is that transpired, what took place, I'm here for it. I'm here to, you know, listen. You know, you guys can actually add me on Instagram if you guys want to, right? I have no problem. It's somewhere in the description. I know I put it on the channel because people were actually able to find me from YouTube on Instagram, right? But the last person that found me from YouTube to Instagram was actually a person that was trying to troll me, right? And I was just about to mention Sarah, and she is here. Okay, I'm just really injured. I might have to have surgery, but it all depends, says Nevaeh Rhodes. I hope the surgery goes well, Nevaeh. I absolutely hope the surgery goes well. And big up to you, and thank you for being here. You know, I'm going to send my well wishes and my prayers to you. Sending all the healing energy to you, and, you know, for a successful operation or successful surgery. Sarah's here, so Sarah will be able to kind of back up. First of all, Sarah, I hope you're having a great day, right? I hope you're having a phenomenal day out there. Sarah, big shout outs to you, and thank you so much for how you handled that situation last night when the person wanted to get on the phone. Was it the phone that he wanted to get on, or he wanted to have some sort of dialogue with me? That person ended up displaying exactly what I thought it was. It was kind of like some stalkerish weird behavior, right? Like it's kind of weird behavior. Like I in no way, shape, or form want to have that dialogue with somebody that's not really a part of this community that's been you know, supporting this community for some time, right? So this individual last night, right, wanted to get some sort of contact with me, wanted maybe to call him or something, or get on the live with one another, or whatever it is, right? Sarah saw the message before I did. Sarah, you know, she handled the situation very professionally. She told him that I'm probably not gonna want to get on a phone call with him or talk to him or anything, and she was absolutely right about that. I'm not gonna talk to you about that situation. Fast forward a little bit. He's talking up a storm in the chat. I didn't block him or anything like that while he was in the chat. Something told me that I should have blocked him, but I didn't. And then it got to the point where it's like, all right, I see, like, you know, because I see the notifications coming in that someone is actually commenting on different videos. So he was finding different videos that I was doing, and he was commenting on those videos. Like, he was trying to find a hateful comment so that he could kind of exploit that, right? They try to find cracks in your armor, or what they feel like are cracks in your armor. They try to find like a weak point, and then they try to exploit that, right? Of course, right? It's the silly boys. This is what they do. So anyway, silly boys. That was actually something that someone said last night that we're using. So anyway, it wasn't finished there. So I saw the message. I kind of left it up. I didn't care. Like, he was trolling or whatever. He said he left a comment under my video. I wasn't upset about it, right? So then I saw a notification come over from Instagram, and a lot of times, especially when it's someone that isn't following you, or it's someone that seems to be like a fake profile, or a profile that's like an alternate profile or whatever, that person actually used a burner profile, right? And hit me up, and he's like, I was just watching your live. Just wanted to let you know how much of an effing idiot you were, right? And I actually found it quite kind of funny. That this same individual, and I'm assuming was the same individual because he had a lot of heat and a lot of aggression. And I didn't understand why he had that heat and that aggression, right? We're discussing things that, these things are important, right? For the direction that the country's going in. It's important for the world. It's important that we don't have a dictator in the office. It's important that we don't have someone that's a pathological liar and does not have transparency and does not take accountability for everything. It's important that that person goes nowhere near the White House at all, right? This isn't fun and games, okay? Because we all remember what transpired on January 6th, right? We all know about everything that he's been saying about how he believes he won the election and the election's rigged and this, that, and the third, right? We all know about all of these sort of allegations and the projections that this guy's doing. We know how divisive and hateful he is, right? So we want something different. I think that the future of the country depends on this, right? So yeah, I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna speak my truth. Like, that stuff's not gonna stop it, right? So I was there, I was thinking to myself, okay, this guy, he really took the time out to comment under a video, create a burner profile, to find me on Instagram, to just sort of troll me, right? And I don't think he notices, or I don't think he kind of sees that it doesn't affect me. Like, the trolling isn't going to affect me. Like, the words that people are saying, energy can't be created nor destroyed, guys, right? So what that does is it really makes me a better, whether you want to call me a podcaster, whether you want to call me a streamer, if you want to call me a YouTuber, whatever it is, right? What it does is it shows me that, yes, you're on the right path. You're on the right path. You're really striking the right chords, because guess what? When you tell the truth, there are a lot of people that are not going to like the truth, right? Because it forces them to be accountable. It forces them to take a look at themselves. It forces them to see themselves for what they truly are and what they truly represent, right? And some people, they don't like that, right? So now it becomes something where it's a us against them, right? It's not a us against them sort of thing, right? People can have differences of opinion. We all don't share the same opinions on everything, guys. And it's okay, right? However, whenever you have these dangerous opinions, whenever you say these things that are so divisive and so hateful that people's lives are at stake, it gets to the point where you have to be held accountable for the things that you say. Period. Right? So this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing here on this platform, right? We talk about spirituality, politics, what's been happening in the country. This is something that we kind of started gradually working our way into and gradually speaking about, right? And I have a whole lot of fun doing it. It's very easy. It's not scripted. It's not something where I'm writing these things down. Oh, yeah, I know this will get them, right? It's not something, I know I've been accused, people have accused me of getting paid to do these things. You couldn't pay me enough to do it, right? So, again, these are myths, right? People kind of want to make these things up, right? To further validate their sort of political views or their points or their racism or the hatred or whatever it is, right? So they're willing to make up something, right, in order to validate their nonsense, the nonsense that they're thinking, right? In which it is what it is. If that's what you choose to do, that's what you choose to do. You have every right to be as wrong as you want to be, right? And then, you know, some people may say there's no right or wrong, but whatever, right? That's neither here nor there. You have the right to your perspective, as do I have the right to mine, right? I'm never going to try to find someone. I'm never going to be such a stan that someone maybe doesn't like someone that I like, right? And someone is actually telling the truth and providing proof, that I'm going to go follow them on Instagram and, you know, send them hateful messages, right? And then at the end of the day, it's one of those things, because it's like this, right? So there's nothing that you could do that I will be afraid of. I don't fear you, right? There's no fear, right? So if it's intimidation, or if you feel like you're going to stop what it is that we're doing over here, it only galvanizes me a little bit more, because it shows me, and it shows us as a community, that we're headed in the right direction and we're doing God's work, right? For lack of a better term, right? So it is what it is. So now, if we can have dialogue in which it's very difficult for a Trump supporter, for an extremist, right? When I say Trump supporter, I'm really talking about the extremists, the radicals. It's very difficult, guys, for them to see things objectively, right? They view things strictly through their emotional perspective, through the lowest perspective that they can possibly have, right? They don't view things from an objective perspective, okay? And we all have emotions. We all sometimes, you know, view things from emotional perspective, especially when it comes to the things and the people that we love the most, right? But at the end of the day, it shouldn't ever get to the point where, let's say, for instance, right? I don't know. Who am I a fan of? All right, boom. I'll give you a perfect example, right? So I'm an Arsenal fan, right? I'm a big time Arsenal Football Club fan, right? It's over there in London, right? Everybody doesn't know, big Arsenal, the Gunners, whatever you want to call it, right? As a matter of fact, the original name of this channel was Armed with Arsenal, right? Because we were kind of going to do a lot of sports content, and, you know, cryptic reasoning was actually something that came to me from an old sort of podcast that I used to do back in the day. But as a big time Arsenal fan, guys, supporting the Gunners, it comes natural, right? So despite how good things are or how bad things are, you know, you love your team. Some people, they troll the team, right? Like, it's one of the biggest things, right? Like, sport, especially people that do sports content online. Like, you will get trolled, and people will troll the team. People will talk a whole bunch of stuff in the team. And sometimes I indulge and I get into the chat and I do my little, you know, back and forth with some of these guys, right? Like, and it's all banter, right? So it's fun to me, right? It's fun. But I'll tell you an instance, right? So the last time Arsenal played Manchester City, I saw where Erling Haaland took the ball and he threw the ball into the back of the head of Gabriel, right? After they had scored the equalizing goal, right? And I thought he should have been sent off for that. I thought he should have been cautioned for that. I thought something should have happened. Nothing happened. They let it go. They sent off one of my guys, right, in Arsenal, Leandro Trossard, because he kicked the ball on accident right before the referee blew the whistle, right? They sent them off for kicking the ball. But that referee bias, we're not going to get into that, right? We're not going to get into that right now. But anyway, I didn't get upset with Erling Haaland and go into his DM and, oh, you know, I hope you never score another goal again. Oh, I just wanted to let you know that you're an effing loser. Oh, da-da-da-da-da. What does that make me, right? What would that make me as a grown man to try to go find this guy who's a professional football player, who had a difference with another person who I support, who's on my team, right? what would that make me? And now, honestly, I kind of look at Erling Haaland a whole lot different than I did before, because I really like the kid. I knew he was going to be successful when he left Dortmund. I knew because he was successful at Dortmund. I knew that the Manchester City was just the perfect place for him to go to really flourish as a player. They create a lot of opportunities, and being under Pep Guardiola would have been brilliant for him, right? So even though he plays for our rivals, right, and make no mistake, they are our biggest rivals right now, right? It ain't Tottenham. Tottenham ain't they ain't nobody, right? right? This is sports, right? So it's all banter. But they're our biggest rivals. And even though he played for the biggest rivals, it's like I had that element of respect for him, because he's great at what he does. Maybe not probably, but he's the best number 9 in the world currently, right? And then you see him and he meditates, and he has this sort of element of himself where you think, oh, maybe he's spiritual. Maybe he actually shares the same sort of beliefs that I share. Oh, I could get with that. That's dope. I really like that about him, right? But then he goes off and he does something like that. And if he had done it to a player on a different team, I probably would have still kind of been like, bro, I don't know if that's cool. But maybe I wouldn't have felt the strong sort of and it's not that strong, but it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, that's how you feel about us? Yeah, that support that I had for you, I got to take it off the table, right? But I'm not going to go in his DM, guys. I'm not going to go in his DM and send him hate messages, right? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go into Donald Trump's DM and send him hate messages. I ain't going to do that, right? It's just, I'm not going to do it. I don't see the point in doing that, right? Because we all are going to have differences in opinions, right? We all are going to have different ideology, right? And the best way for you to defeat somebody like Donald Trump, and the best way for you to defeat Erling Haaland out there on the field, right? Donald Trump, when we go out and we cast our votes, right? That's how we're going to defeat him. You understand what I'm saying? That's where we're going to get our satisfaction, because you know what? Being an instrument of the universe, an instrument of universal karma, right? It's one of those things. These guys are going to get precisely what it is that they bargained for, right? But I'm not going to get to the point where I do it. I come up here and I voice my opinion all the time. And a lot of it's fun for me to do, guys. It really is, right? So even though I'm calling him out, I'm having so much fun doing this. So much fun doing this. It's brilliant. It's great. You understand what I'm saying? So it's one of those things, guys. Please understand that we're all going to have differences in opinions. Everyone doesn't view the world in the same way from the same perspective. And it is quite okay, right? So now, we're going to fast forward and we're going to move on, right? It's no big issue. I ended up blocking the guy from Instagram. I ended up blocking him on this profile, right? And that's it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. If you feel as if you're going to intimidate me, right? Because I'm not going to bow down to your king and I'm going to hold your king accountable. It's not going to happen, guys. It's not. There's nothing you could do to me. You understand what I'm saying? We're all spiritual beings having this human experience, right? So you might feel like you want to try to nullify my voice or silence me. It won't happen. It's not going to happen. I had one guy, it's crazy because, again, when it comes to the fact checking, like these are things that we do. Like I'll do the fact check, right? So if I ever say something that you guys either don't agree with or you guys feel like I'm capping about, fact check me, right? That's very rarely happened. Only one time has someone ever successfully fact checked me, and that's when I thought Adams was the first black mayor of New York. And even though I'm a New Yorker, I did not know that we had another black mayor because I was so goddamn young when that guy was the mayor, right? And I wasn't even living in New York at the time when he was the mayor, right? So I didn't know that there was another black mayor. So that was one time that someone successfully was like, hey, listen, he's not the first black mayor in New York. Other than, and I'll gladly admit that, I put my hand up, and when that person did fact check me, I was like, oh, really? Oh, Type, did my research, found out that there actually was another black mayor in New York City, right? Bravo to that person, right? That person is a subscriber to the channel, hopefully, right? I think they are. And we move on. As far as anything else that I've said, 100% facts, right? What that situation did for me is that it showed me, hey, listen, you got to pay more attention. If you're going to say something, actually be able to prove it, right? So if I ever come on here and every time I've ever said anything about Donald Trump, it's something that I'm able to prove, right? Donald Trump is the one that said he's going to be a dictator only on day one, right? He's the one that said he's going to be a dictator only on day one. I heard him say it, seen him say it, right? Provided the evidence, played the clip last night, right? So that people could hear it. So if you do hear me say anything, it's easy to hold this guy accountable. It's the easiest thing in the world to do is to hold this guy accountable, right? But most people, they don't do it. Whenever he says anything, most of the time, right? Most of the time when he says things, you can bet your bottom dollar that it's a lie, right? Guy very seldomly speaks the truth. Guy very seldomly calls it like it is, right down the middle. He's not somebody that does that. And he's running a campaign on telling lies. He tells lies about Biden. He tells lies about Harris, right? And just misinformation and just false. Just everything about this guy is just fake and false, right? He wants to talk about fake news when he has fake views. Right? And he does these projecting, like he projects, right? And this is what people who are narcissists, this is what they do. Like he's really, what he's doing is he's showing this behavior that's associated with narcissism. Okay? And not even like a mild little narcissism, extreme narcissism. Narcissism. I said narcissism a few times, right? But it's one of those things. It's not hard to hold the guy accountable, and he needs to be held accountable if he's going to represent us in the White House. He's not going to represent me ever, right? But at the same time, if he's going to represent the country, he needs to be held accountable. You can't run off on 60 Minutes. There has to be transparency. The people need to know what's going on. But in actuality, what he did was he spared us the lies. He spared us the gaslighting. He spared us all of those things. But I think what people really wanted to know, one of the things that people really wanted, I know me, I could speak for myself. I don't know about everyone else. But I know one of the things that I really wanted to know about was January 6th. I really wanted to know about January 6th. I really wanted to know, is he going to take responsibility for what transpired that day on January 6th? I really wanted to know if he still thinks that he won that election. I really wanted to know if he thinks that people who interfere in the election really should be going to jail. I really wanted to know if he was going to be accountable, but I already have the answer to these things. I'm just waiting on one day the guy's just going to surprise me by being, hey, you know what? I've done this for too long. I'm tired of carrying this burden of bullshit, right? The burden of bullshit. Listen, guys, I'm going to copyright that, so don't try to take it. But it's one of those things. You know what I mean? So we're going to hold him accountable. We absolutely are. I have no issue with that. I think if you're living in a country, you're from a country or whatever it is, and you have political leaders that are in office, they should also be held accountable, right? You're not above the law, right? You're not above the program. You don't get to do these things and just get away with it, right? You got to do things in the interest of your people, the people that put you into the office, right? Whether or not they voted for you, by the way. And stop using the hurricane as some sort of political tactic. because you have so much money that if you really wanted to help those people that you say are not getting help, if you really cared about helping those people, they would be helped in no time. What's it to you to raise 100 million, 200 million? You're a billionaire. You got connections, you got friends, right? So if you're so concerned about these people, what's stopping you from raising some money and helping these people? I don't understand. I really don't. Certainly, guys, certainly, if I was, which I'm probably never going to be the one to ever run for office, right? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not the political type, right? But if I was, hypothetically, if I was running for office, right? And I believe that the people weren't getting helped enough, and I happen to be a billionaire, you know what I would do? I would take on the responsibility to say, all right, cool. Well, they're not doing their job, but we still have to do our job. Let's put some money together. Let's pool some of our resources together and help these people over there that's been affected by this hurricane, right? The last hurricane, the one that happened in Puerto Rico, he went to Puerto Rico and threw napkins at the people in the audience. The billionaire threw paper towel at the people in the audience. Right? Threw paper towel at the people in the audience. When these people's homes were ravaged, right? Most of them don't have a place to stay anymore. You know, people lost their livelihoods, right? It's a really nice one. That's nice, right? And what do? You go there and you throw paper towel at them. That's what you do. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I just thought I'd tell you guys about what it is that happened. I'm gonna see if I could get into some of these messages because it's not that many people here. But big ups to everyone that is here, that is liking and subscribing to the channel as well. Thank you guys so much for supporting what it is that we do here. You guys have been absolutely brilliant, and I thank the millions and millions of you guys that have been supporting the channel. Thank you guys so much. That sounds hard. I hope you get better soon. Me too. Hunter Mayer says you're a good guy. Thank you so much for that. I sincerely do appreciate that. You know, honestly, I try to be myself. I don't know, I don't know if I particularly, thank you for that, by the way. I really do appreciate it. But for me, it's not much about trying to be a good guy or a bad guy. It's just more about being myself, right? Just being an instrument of the universe, right? Just universal karma. And, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's just one of those things. But I do appreciate that compliment. And I think you're a great person as well. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a great day too. Yeah, that guy was crazy. He said he was only 15. I said, oh, someone's upset. Was he really? Yeah, he operated as someone that was really like a kid, right? But nonetheless, he's blocked from this platform. He's blocked off my Instagram. It's one of those things. And we can't take people that are, because they're young, lightly, right? Because we do know some of the things that have been happening in America with these young kids and the things that they've been doing. But yeah, I would hope that an adult wouldn't do something like that. I really would. Love and respect and good health, Nevaeh, to you and yours, from me and mine, says Cerebral Pugilist. Okay. Thank you so much for the well wishes for. I sincerely do appreciate that. Even though I'm not Nevaeh, I will take that, and give that message to her myself. But thank you so much for the well wishes. Everyone needs to realize your opinion no longer matters, says Sherry Roseberry. Clever. Sherry, why are you so serious? Of course that's not true. Yeah, it's trolling. It is what it is. It's most likely the same dude because he was super angry, and even in the chat he was using capital letters. I timed him out for 10 minutes. That's it. I actually timed him out for a lifetime. I timed him out for a lifetime. But it's one of those things, you know, people like that, you know, what they'll do is he's probably going to create another account, you know, find us again and try to troll us again, right? But, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's one of those things. Good afternoon. How are you? Whoa, thank you for the wrench. Appreciate it, my brother. Nah, Terrence B, I thank you, Brody. I thank you for supporting this community for as long as you have. I thank you for, you know, everything that you've been doing, right? And thank you for the dialogue. Even though sometimes we do have a difference in opinion, I do respect your opinion. I do appreciate how you keep the conversation going. I do appreciate the how you respectfully challenge me sometimes as well. You know, I have no qualms, you know, when it comes to that. If somebody respectfully comes and they want to challenge something that I'm saying, I don't have a problem returning that same energy. And I do appreciate you for supporting our channel. You know, before we got to 1,000 subscribers, you were probably here before 500, but maybe not, but definitely before we got to 1,000. And yeah, I just made that exception to just, you know, make you a moderator, because we weren't going to add any more moderators until we got to 1,500 subscribers. And now we're at what? Oh, wow. 1,376, right? We're not that far from 1,500, but we just made that exception. You know, thank you for all the work that you do as well, Terrence B. Big up yourself, and thanks, man. Thanks for all the support. I got no real complaints. I'll keep the small ones to myself. Laugh out loud. How about yourself? Oh, my bad. Sorry, Terrence. Kamala 2024 says buried 6 feet deep. Big up yourself. This guy, Gun Surgeon, says Trump 24. Small down yourself. I hope they paying you, says Frank. Lying is politics, says Frank. No, Frank. All right. I'm not going to say lying is not associated with politics, right? I'm not going to say politicians don't get up there and they don't cap. It's not right. It's, you know, it's not something that I agree with. It's not something that I would do. But at the same time, it's just one of those things where it's like the extremism, right? When it comes to these lies and how dangerous they are, right? That's what I have a problem with, right? I believe people ought to be truthful. I believe if you're a politician, you know, running for the White House or whatever office, I think you ought to be, you know, you have to have some element of truthfulness about yourself. You know what I mean? What has Harris done? Says Dean. Yeah, we're not going to keep doing that over and over and over. If you want to find out, you can go online and find out. Google it. He said that in a reference to closing the border and sending all the illegals back to where they came from. You're not telling the whole story. You're the liar, says Overcomer. He said that in reference. Listen, he said that he's going to be a dictator on the first day. Where's the lie in that? Where's the lie in that? Sending back illegals is not being a dictator. That's not being a dictator. If that's something that the Constitution, you know, tells you that you could do, that's not being a dictator, right? How is that being a dictator? So it's one of those things. Again, you always have these people, they try to just justify everything that this guy says, right? So now the truth becomes a lie because of their perspective, right? The truth isn't the truth anymore, even though, as clear as day, he said he's going to be a dictator on the first day. How does someone all of a sudden, right, relinquish that sort of power once they realize that they could do it and get away with it? If you saying you're going to become a dictator and you had a taste of that power, why, and get away with it, why then would you decide, oh, you know, I don't want to be a dictator anymore, especially somebody who's power hungry and drunk off power like this guy Donald Trump is? Again, you don't want to hold him accountable, but that's your prerogative. You can so choose to do that, right? You can so choose to do that. But you're not calling me a liar. That's projecting, right? You're calling yourself a liar. And you're calling Donald Trump a liar, right? Because all I did was relay the message. That's it. And if you guys want me to play it again for you, right? If you want me to play it again for you, sorry, Trump. Hold on, Trump. Right.
Watch, Mark.
Here it is.
Circumstances, you are promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody, except for day one.
You would never abuse power as retribution against anybody. What did he say? Except for day one. Right?
Except for?
He's going crazy. Except for day one.
Meaning?
I want to close the border and I want to drill.
That's
drill,
not
drill.
that's not retribution.
That's not retribution. You see the deflection and avoiding the question, right? In order to galvanize the emotions of his supporters so that they could cheer, right? Completely deflecting and avoiding the question.
I'm going to be, you know, he keeps, I love this guy. He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one.
Right? He says you're not going to be a dictator, are you? No, other than day one. He's saying this. This is not something that I'm saying. This is something that he's saying. Right? So yeah, you can add your little rigmarole. You could put up your little smoke screen. You could do this and you could do that. Right? But this is what the truth is. So please, guys, fact check me on anything that it is that I say. Right? How is a guy going to be a dictator only on day one? Only on day one. How dare you get up here on stage and talk about how you're going to become a dictator in the United States of America and people aren't holding your ass accountable for that shit? I know I sound a little bit angry, but it's just passion. Sorry about that, but I'm not sorry.
Closing the border and we're drilling. After that, I'm not a dictator.
Closing the border and we're drilling, right? So on the first day, he's going to close the border and he's going to drill, right? Close border, drill. So that's what he associates with being a dictator, right? Of course, we know it's more than that, but he's going to say whatever it is to try to appeal to the people around him. And here they are cheering like a bunch of clowns. They're cheering him on, not holding his ass accountable, putting a battery in his back. This is your king? This is the guy you want to vote for? This is the guy you want leading your country? This is okay to you? Because it ain't okay to me. Right? And that's that. So you can add on Overcomer, right? As a matter of fact, let's pin you. We're gonna pin you. We're gonna pin your comment. Hold on, let's pin that message on top, right? Right? So that's a clown of the day. That's the clown comment of the day. Overcomer, congratulations. That's a clown comment of the day. Thank you so much for that. We've been doing so good. We didn't have many of these Trump trolls, in which I don't mind them, right? But you sat up there and you called me a liar, right? And I just played for you precisely what your leader said, right? But of course, you're going to dodge and deflect just like him. Dodge and deflect. Dodge and deflect. This is what they do. This is what you do. Right? The truth gonna hurt, don't it? It stings a little bit, doesn't it? I got the window open. There's damn flies everywhere in New York. These flies. Reminds me of somebody. Oh, man. Let's go. Bruh, everybody can't handle the truth. I'm glad you're bringing it to the masses. Thank you. Thank you, Betty. I appreciate that. Betty. And we'll continue to speak the truth. It is what it is, guys. It's an open book. You understand what I'm saying? I've dealt with narcissists in the past. I know the lengths that they're able to go to. I know once you stop giving them your energy, right? I know how small it makes them feel once you start moving different. Like, these people would try to destroy your life with lies, right? I'm against everything that has to do with anybody that's like that. Period, point blank. You understand what I'm saying? I have no issue standing up for what it is that I stand on and being who I am, right? He said it himself. You tried to justify it. You tried to make excuses about it. But there's the facts right there. What else would you like for me to prove in terms of what it is that I said? Because I'll find it and I'll give it to you. I'll give you the truth. Come on, guys. Come on. We can't be that allergic to the truth, guys. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. The truth is actually a good thing. The truth is actually a really, really good thing, guys. Honestly, it is. Have you ever heard the saying, the truth will set you free? Sorry about that. The sun might start coming out a little bit, so let me just put my shades on. Haha, Kamala gets to gaslighting instead. The insurrection, says Frank. Have you purchased any shoes, coins, and watches yet, says Betty? Out of my price range, right? That dude wouldn't get a dime from me unless he was doing a comedy show, right? In which I would love to see that clown on the stage doing a comedy show. That's the only time I would give a dime to Donald Trump, right? Because I will say this. As far as the gibberish that comes out of his mouth, yeah, it's box office gibberish. Right? It's box office gibberish. You understand what I'm saying? It's entertaining gibberish. It's the type of gibberish that you point at and laugh. But when you give that sort of gibberish and that sort of dialogue and that perspective, the amount of power that he will get by being the United States president, it's dangerous to not only the American people, but it's dangerous to the whole entire world. Frank says, and he a felon. You hate all felons? I'm not going to sit up here and say I hate all felons. I don't think that that's something that I would sit up here and say, right? Some people that are felons are not actual felons, right? Fortunately, for me, I stayed out of that lifestyle, right? I'm not going to say when I was young, I wasn't a little bit I was a whole different person, but I stayed away from doing that sort of stuff, right? So in regards to me, even though I know I fit the stereotype on the outside, I've never been involved in any of those things, right? But as far as Donald Trump goes, yeah, he can't say the same. Now, am I going to sit up here and say I hate all felons? No, I'm not going to say I'm not going to sit up here and say I hate all felons. I'm not going to sit up here and say I hate anyone, right? Maybe I don't like what it is that you did. Maybe what you did go against my moral compass. Maybe what you did is something that I just don't agree with, right? But at the end of the day, if I wasn't there when you did it, or I don't really know all the details, right? There's some people that do have felons on their records that are innocent people. You know, we have to admit that. I don't believe Trump is one of them, though. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't believe he is at all. Right? Period. He's doing exactly that. He's helping more than the administration. What are you talking about? Says Raven Sway. See, here we go with the lies again. Here we go with the lies. I said what I'm talking about, and I'm very direct and clear at what it is that I'm saying. So if you don't understand, maybe you just shouldn't watch. Maybe you should find another stream to watch. Maybe try that. Try to find something where someone is just blowing blowing smoke up your A word, right? Find another stream where people, you know, where the lie is the truth, right? But we speak the truth here, and I understand that it's not everyone's language. I understand that it's not everyone's language. But if it's not your language and you don't understand the language of the truth, find another stream where you understand their language. It's not that difficult. It isn't. It really isn't. Right? But bless your heart. Bless your heart. Bless your soul. Namaste, fam. Wagwan. Big up yourself, anime. Big up yourself. Big up your... bro, it's so great when we have these longtime community members, you know, that still continue to support the channel. And we're going to build this platform, you know, as big as we possibly can. And those people that you see with blue names, at one point or another, I'm going to show them how much I appreciate them and their perspective. How much I appreciate them as people that support this channel, right? And I say it, I know I say it often, but just me expressing myself. You understand what I'm saying? And I just love to do it. I love to express myself. I love to be an open book. I sincerely do appreciate you. Hope your day is going well. Welcome back home. Welcome back home, my brother. DJ Scoot. What's up, Brody? I see DJ Scoot actually deleted a message, so I know he's here, but I don't see a message yet. Big up yourself. Big up yourself, my brother. They should be the truth and authentic self, don't it? Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Donald Trump's actions have often been perceived as favoring those who share the views or relate to him. Yes. 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 But mainly, it's mainly business interests when it comes to Donald Trump. It's mainly money and power moves, right? So if he is going to stand next to someone that he may deem different, there's a reason why he's standing next to them. But as far as everyone that he does have around him, they're pretty much just pawns, right? In this big game that he's playing with everyone. That's the way how I view it. And his niece seems to view it the same way as well. And so does his nephew, right? And so does Mark Cuban. And so does Mike Pence. And so does George Bush. And Dick Cheney. And all the Republicans that used to be Republican that are like, you know what, guys? I can't with this guy. I can't with this guy. The guy went up there and said he wants to be a dictator. And he still has people going like this. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! You tell me if these guys aren't smoking something. You tell me that. He says he wants to be a dictator. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, extremism. Radical. How could you support somebody like that? How could you? What's up, DJ Scoot? I had to evacuate for this hurricane. Big up yourself, man. And DJ Scoot, where exactly are you, Brody? Yeah, what's it, a Category 5 hurricane that's happening? It's supposed to like hit Florida. Yeah, man, listen, forget about, look, this is what I would say about that, right? Because a lot of times it's like the things that we work for, you know, we put so much value on these things, right? The car can be replaced. The house can be replaced. Anything that's material can be replaced, right? What can't be replaced is your life. So yes, I commend you for evacuating. Don't be one of those hard-headed people that's so stuck in their ways that they decided they're not. Listen, Mother Nature's undefeated, right? No matter how powerful people think that they are, no matter how powerful human beings think that they are, with everything that they've acquired and all the weapons and this, that, and the third, right? You're not tougher than this hurricane. You're not tougher than this tornado, right? So it's one of those things. We've gotten to the point now where it's not like back in the day, right? Where when a hurricane was coming or when a storm was coming or when a tornado was coming, you didn't really know, right? Unless you were one of those people that were really gifted in sort of detecting what weather changes and certain patterns that's happening, right? So these things would have just hit you out of the blue while you were out, I don't know, hunting or fishing or picking berries or whatever it is, right? That people used to do back in the day. So right now, we have the opportunity to see these things while they're happening in real time, but before they actually, you know, come to where you are. So because we have that opportunity or we have that luxury, yeah, guys, use it. So if you are in Florida, if you're in Georgia, if you're in any of these places that may be affected by this, I'm telling you guys, please, I'm begging you, right? For your own safety If you need to evacuate, evacuate, right? Get to safety. Safety first, right? Because your life can't be replaced. Those material things can be replaced, right? I remember I used to have a 5 Series. Don't have the 5 Series anymore. I remember I used to put all of this weight into the things that I acquired. And then I got to the point where I lost everything. Everything had nothing to my name, right? And then that's when I started building and it actually started, how would you say, my spiritual journey actually before that, right? And I think that's what sort of prevented me from really going off on the deep end. But at the same time, I kind of realized at that point that, yeah, the material things that I put so much value on, like these things can be replaced at any time. You know what I mean? So DJ Scoot, get the safety. That's all I care about, right? Get the safety, brother. Yeah, and you know, whatever happens to that stuff, they can be replaced. You know what I mean? But your life is very important. Donald Trump is attempting to avoid prison by seeking presidency. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. That's the crazy part about it. That's why he's so desperate, right? I've never seen him this desperate before. He's incredibly desperate. Incredibly desperate. And that's why he's avoiding these 60-minute interviews. And that's why he's avoiding the debate. That's why he's avoiding these things, right? Because he knows that what Jack Smith did, right? He knows that that's going to be the focal point. He knows that people are going to start talking about it. So of course he's not going to go on anything other than the extreme right-wing media, right? And that's just what it is. Thank you so much, my guy. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are subscribing as well. We did actually go up a little bit. Not as much as last night. Some of these people tried to troll me, but they were subscribing at the same time, which was crazy. So yeah, it's just one of those things that really helps the algorithm, man. We had 9,000 views last night. You know, and there was quite a bit of people that were in there trolling last night, but I don't have an issue with that. I'm not that thin-skinned, guys. Like, it is what it is, right? The worst thing you could probably call me these days is a Trump supporter. It's up there, right? And I'd be like, oh, hold on, brother. Watch your mouth. But I don't care. I don't care. It's okay. Happy we just have met, says Linnea. Thank you so much. And I know you're one of those people that subscribed since we started the stream just now. I appreciate you, and you've been here since the beginning of the stream. I'm not going to be too much longer, guys. I am going to sort of get back to work. So let's say maybe another 5 minutes or so. I do appreciate everyone kind of taking the time out of their day to listen to what it is that I had to say. You know, listen to what transpired last night. And we had so much fun last night, didn't we? I had a lot of fun last night, and I know you guys did too. But yeah, it's one of those things. I've never, ever been involved in politics. Never really spoke about politics, but at this time, because I see the direction that the country is going in, I'm like, yo, hold on. You guys aren't serious. It can't actually really be the candidate that's really going up for presidency. Now, mind you, like I said before, guys, if he's doing a clown show, right? Like the guy, he would be the biggest clown in the world. Like, honestly, he would knock Ronald McDonald out of the park, right? Any clown that you could, what's that guy, Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal, right? Donald Trump would be the absolute best, creme de la creme when it comes to clowns, right? And if he had a comedy show or something like that, yeah, I would support that. I actually would, right? That's something that I want to point at and laugh at. So I don't have a problem pointing and laughing at it, right? But pointing and laughing at it is different than giving him, you know, the keys to the military, the keys to the level of power that he would have as the and influence that he would have as the United States president. That's dangerous to the entire world. It's very dangerous. So yeah, guys, if you never hear me talk about politics ever again after this election, right, it's probably, that means that the country is heading in a better direction, right? If you never hear me talk about after this election, right? But for the next month or so, right? We're going to talk about it. We're going to put light on it. And we're going to encourage people to go out there and make some changes, right? Make some changes because we care about what's going to happen to the future of our country. We care about, it's not about make America great again. It's about make America better than it's ever been before, right? It's not about going back into the past, okay? It's about coming into the present. It's about coming into the present and focusing on the future, right? So, yes, on a higher level, there's no such thing as time, right? But in actuality, there's nothing that we could do about the past, right? So let's come into the present, guys, and create the future that we want, right? Donald Trump's ideology, it's old news and it's rubbish, right? It's old news and it's rubbish. And he's going to get precisely what it is that he bargained for. Listen, karma is real. I tell people that all the time. Karma is absolutely real. Be careful of the seeds that you planted, right? So when you're planting, make sure you're planting good seeds. You will be held accountable, right? So it's one of those things. And how are we going to hold him accountable? Because we're going to go out there and we're going to vote, right? So you want him to be alive. Keep him around so he could see what happens when he loses the second election in a row, right? Keep him alive for him to face his karma. Guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel once more. Thank you to everyone who's liked the video and subscribed. We will be back again later, right, to do this more and more and more and more. I love doing this. I love the dialogue. I love it all. I love the back and forth. I love the banter, some of it anyway. And thank you guys. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Anime. Thank you, Nevaeh Rhodes. Nevaeh Rhodes, I hope all goes well with your surgery. Thank you for everything that you've done for our channel, each and every single one of you. DJ Scoot, big up yourself. Make sure you get to safety, evacuate, get to safety, take care of yourself, take care of your dog, take care of your family. And big ups to all the new subscribers, new followers. Big ups to everyone that's watched this video and liked and subscribed. I thank you guys so much. I'm going to go and get back to work. So I'll see you guys later. One love to each and every one of you guys. Bye-bye.